OKFM 101.7.
Atik Mohammed, Executive Secretary, Mass Action Committee. Atik, me watching.
Me so comment.
Naboko dear.
Yamiadumo.
Ami. Maba wunchenya. What's ye? Nano a year press conference at NDC Amanyukuni regarding the registration. No, Ebebaso by the Electoral Commission. New registration for voters register. No. Na NDC Amanyukuo no the nneɛma bi tutu adwa. Baako ne sɛ adeɛ no koraa no a yɛde ɛbɛyɛ for identification like Ghana card any passport ne adeɛ no sɛ wobu nkunta nipa kakraa bi na bɛbu obi wɔ Ghana ha ɛna wɔn mo aka sɛ okay obi ni bi koraa no obetumi ama nipa bi identify no wɔsi ɛmoa wɔsi for instance Ghana card no baabi a wɔn akɔ bia nipa kakraa bi na register enti ɛdeɛ na ɛhyɛ wɔ paa sɛ Electoral Commission entimi miemu enkasa okay voters register no wo akuta old voter ID card fabra ne en register na enye kama se nya adwempɔ ni bi ne wo mu a edi enti na ese saade no etumi eba eno ko ya akɔwie ye kura ma wo sign ni kura boakyinya be ka se wo mu they are working us into civil war because one way year nipa bebrebe disenfranchised na wantimi ankotwuro din na akwakoba MPP for from wom so be yi ano Electoral Commission so akwa so be yi ano afi NDC for so ya timelines for registration no kura no enya de ombetimi aye exhibition way ebrebe na be ye COVID-19 wo social distancing one some protocol no be de na ye enu de aye bibi a wodi akire pa those discourse ekoso yemfa to hin be dia aduri.
Okay. Me don't say Kwame. My mincha with you for your no pay. Me di omon community kaka. And say sometimes was some kind of who kwaya and I will who can now kwaya bibia. Some of the issues, for example, an opportunity was extended to all political parties. And when you say NDC, I wear two classes. On the one hand, I work with the civil society organization. On the other two, I'm the general secretary of the political party. Until IPAC meeting, and it was a one-line item. It was a one-line agenda, and one item agenda. It was focusing on voter registration. Until our meeting national, they discussed some of these issues. CINA Electoral Commission, sorry, Edico. Parliament, the amendment on person moyeno. Omo boy amanye. Which portions of the CI on person moya amendment, and what do we think as major stakeholders? Emma, your church, your Jane, and all of that. Omo catch and say they will take views into consideration. If after careful consideration of the various views now expressed here, they still feel strongly say ebeyi and abebwa say ebeyi voter ID card ebeyi driver's license. I think say Electoral Commission at the end of the day, the ultimate responsibility rests on their head to have a successful and incident-free registration. And so if in their estimation, I almost said we can still have a credible incident-free process without the use of voter ID card now. Mijidi say and yet problematic. Let's hazard a situation. Electoral Commission decided they were going to maintain the voter ID card as a document that establishes citizenship. When he said that would have made nonsense of the Supreme Court ruling. Outlaw the existence of Mkrofomodi NHIS card acquire registration on the register. Because some of the NHIS card acquire registration and I mean voters ID card no. So you see yes I'm very registration and the only way to prove say I am eligible to be registered by merely showing me old voter ID card. Thank all those who use NHIS Eska Mrafisia FE illegal. No? They all would find their way back into the register. And if the idea of a new register is to make sure say we clean the existing one and to also make it compatible with new technology, any softwares are able to use, you know. In my view, no, it will be counterproductive to still go back to do the same old things. MI Supreme Court, Eka says, in Kofi War, and so register, no, so near the kind of. The other issue is the impression was created as though, say, you be amend DCI and electoral commission be drafting new CI. Omoni yam political parties, and so one, na ya draft album. And you know, the Biada. In 2012, committee na omutia na parties area representatives. No, it was because we were getting into a different registration regime. We had never used biometrics. And nuntina omuka say yenti technical committee and a legal committee because we are entirely new for all of us. Beyond that and before that, no, we have never had a situation you have a drafted CI for registration. Yes, the technical committee and legal committee, na political party, sample representation, bra. Even si sada. And to say amendment na electoral commission person or muye CCI no. Nanke say omukoti technical committee, no munti legal committee, na parties for no embra, na omuni electoral commission and trombum. In the absence of SAR committee to draft the amendment, no, that is the electoral commission is acting in good faith. They are not consulting political parties. Meanwhile, an opportunity was extended to the NDC to be part of such a discussion. Not only did they respond, they actually honored the invitation, only to stage a walkout thereafter. And to say, ourselves, that doing registration. Of course, you can't have a conversation about registration without having a conversation about the amendments now. Electoral Commission, the core parliament. Yes, who buy it, and who why you know, and he said you don't want to be part of such a meeting. Let's say you discuss issues here. We see because Almighty NDC wasn't part of the conversation, there was never a conversation. I think that is unfair to us. And there are these concerns about COVID-19 and all of that. I said, democracy cannot boomerang. It cannot collapse because we are faced with an emergency. Even in the face of crisis, even in the face of emergency, democracy must thrive. Indeed, the test of democracy is when you have strange situations like we have on our hands today. What is here? And to me, who say but the very minute your democracy is faced with the threat of collapse simply because you are in a crisis situation. Let us say, and several countries are just saying, we can still have a thriving democracy even in the face of whether natural adversity or man-made adversity. South Korea, Benin, Cameroon, even in the US, some states had the elections. When you know HO say, we only need to just get innovative. As for crisis in India, it has come to be with us. And it doesn't seem that the crisis is going to go away anytime soon. And see, you cannot consign you can't say, you can't throw up your hands in this and say, because COVID-19 core yentimi nye bibia biem. Titu ye kabi na min kabi amamu no, enya de betimi atwa so biem because COVID-19 aba. It only calls for innovation. And no electoral commission no. And if the NDC were minded to stay in the meeting, Anka Ombe who said, we had a discussion on Kwenya electoral commission basically in the face of COVID-19 to do registration. I specifically, me resist our concern. I told them, say, look, we are looking at good time scenario because now almost say COVID no call. And I'm saying, also eviction is a worst case scenario. It actually gets worse. At the end, are there some safety arrangements electoral commission to make sure that still registration? It was at that point they told us that Omuni Ghana has service for and the Ministry of Health are in very serious discussions. And Mijidi said, and they told us, when push comes to shove, Yombeni said, you have to have enhanced observance of the protocols. Until your meeting, no, any their consultations with the health agencies, no, I'm sure say Eluna are producing the result of Electoral Commission trying to procure PPEs in order to ensure safe registration. No, it is not as if the Electoral Commission slumbered on his job and that needlessly almost subject to Ghana to some danger. But when in being beyond when the other concern, me see on press conference and Mirahui to say there is some connivance between government and the Electoral Commission. In fact, they were specific between the president and the Electoral Commission to rig the 2020 election. These are some of the comments say institutions of state, undermine the institutions of state, and the very minute institutions of state that are concerned with promoting a democracy, the very minute you undermine them, you are eroding institutionalism, and that is a recipe for democratic decay. But from 1992, why? We started with opaque boxes. Even in how election was done, it wasn't as transparent as we have it today. And we have moved on up to today. And how can the Electoral Commission rig an election? Because almost the NIA cast never registration. That amounts to some conspiracy between the president and NIA and EC to rig the election. These are not healthy comments. Ghana Sebi and Kwame, you when you're crying, when you have conversations with non-Ghanaians, the praise they have for young democracy, is beyond it's beyond debate. Inti comment almost GAD and now if the holders in high see now Yankasa comments are here making it say the rigged elections are more be and all of that. They place a blot on our reputation now we have built over the years, But let's even interrogate the substance of that allegation. Simply because there were issues with the registration in some regions in the conclusion is those regions were the strongholds of the NDC. When is here? You see, and in this country, increasingly, the voter behavior is changing. There is increasing sophistication in the behavior of the voter. And you won't mean because traditionally, because necessarily that is going to be a stronghold forever. There are some regions that almost experiencing challenges when it came to registration. Those regions, you can't say they belong to either NDP or NDC. And also, when there are genuine concerns, let's express them. But when we begin to stigmatize individuals as being in cahoots with the BIMO to do Nyoma Enya, that is when we destroy the conversation. We could have raised concerns, ABIA, the number of cars are endorsed. Until the end, and if you feel the guarantee system also is not foolproof and all of that, these are conversations we can have. But to proceed on that basis to say, Electoral Commission, any will be but person elections, and until now, registration, region crisis by challenges by her, until person with disenfranchised obia. But you see, and they keep quoting the constitution, every Ghanaian is entitled to register once we are 18 and whatever. But the question is, in the Electoral Commission, how does that amount to disenfranchising people? They are saying, if you can't have NIA card, if you can't have a passport, there's a guarantor system for you to use. And see, there is an opening, and there is a room for people who are unable to produce these two cards, to still get registered. You may say it's a tedious process and whatever, but there's still that room. And to say they are actually offending the constitution because they will end up disenfranchising Obino and Ebimono, it's not true. But when you have concerns, then you choose to express them in a certain way. Sometimes it means and look, this concern about voter ID card. We raised it at the IPAC meeting. Like I said, But if in their estimation they still feel say they can have an incident-free process, because if you look at the voter ID card, the credibility has been called into question because of the presence of Nkrofoa or using any NHIS card, registration. And that's a valid point. So if you want to avoid the repetition and the reintroduction of these illegals, so to say, back onto the register, you can only come to one conclusion: say you won't allow the use of voter ID cards to be used as the basis to prove citizenship, because if in your moody NHIS card, I mean, yes, they are not supposed to be there. But the other issue is say other than driver's license, they are not complaining. Because the original CI, had driver's license and what have you. So if the argument is that they should have left the CI as it was, why are they not complaining about driver's license? Because Omuji Tum said that is not a document that can establish citizenship. Just like voter ID card, as is here, who about them. Until media issues, it be could have been expressed better, but it be more said you have no basis at all.
Okay.
It be more they got them tainted with partisan comments and our commentary and a saying common. Because if you have a genuine case about maybe the inadequate numbers, at the end of it, you can say NIA probably print more because they registered more, even though they produced less cards. Can the conversation be about how do they increase the production of cards, of Nkropo or medical register? We can have that conversation. But to proceed to say, Omashada, and register Nkropo up to a certain number, and your cards on printing crasher, and that is part of a certain conspiracy to rig 2020 election. Ghana, my view is that it will be extremely difficult for anybody or group of people to rig an election in this country.
Okay.
Because the level of civil vigilance is so high. And we can have conversations. Why? Nobody says electoral commission is sacrosanct. They make mistakes. We can disagree with them, but let's do so in the spirit of wishing to make things better, but not in the spirit of wishing to undermine them in order to achieve a certain political end. And no, Prime.
That's an opinion.
Mr. Medase, Prime.
Yes, that's Atik Mohammed, General Secretary. Edema Pierce Yamanyukun was Executive Secretary, Mass Action Committee.
OKFM 101.7.